What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega, and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for AEWramble episode 176, a timeless return. Reviewing last night's Winter is Coming edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 56,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram.
Do what I can. Hello, ladies and gents. What happened?
I don't know. It sounded like a typewriter or a fax machine in your background.
Oh. Hello, ladies and gents. A fax machine.
typewriter.
It's not, I don't know. I don't know. It's not like one of those 1990, 1980 inventions.
Yeah, I'm good. How are y'all?
We are doing well. We are glad to be back with you here on a Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. AEWramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what you do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, you can do that with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We got G Loke in the chat who says, what it do at True Heel Heat? Got another banger. So let's go and smash up the like. We also got Eric Isaac, our reviewer extraordinaire, who says, hello, THH fam. Deaf Riders doing deaf writing things. Once again, Hook gets revenge on Christian, and welcome back the real Toni Storm, still forever timeless.
Once again, Hook gets revenge is an oxymoron. You can't get revenge twice. That's how revenge works.
No, I know. I think he was talking about the deaf writers doing deaf writing things once again.
Gotcha.
He just didn't put the period.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here. We also got in the chat with us Annika, who says, hey, darlings. Yeah, it was a little beeping, but it's gone. Yeah, you're good. You're good now, Jimmy. Don't worry. We also got I Make Beats in the chat, one of our members of the channel. You can hit the join button by hitting the join button, and only for $1 a month, you can become a member of the channel. He says some banger matches on AEW. No surprise there. We also got Christopher, who says, I liked AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming. And we are here to discuss if we liked it, give our opinions, but keep giving your thoughts. Send those super chat donations, show some love. But yes, we got to talk about winter is coming, but we also talk about everything going on in the world of wrestling. Usually here on AEWramble, we love to get Jimmy's thoughts on anything going on in the world of wrestling, especially if it pertains to All Elite Wrestling. And we got to bring up the entire drama that's been going on with Rey Fenix and Tony Khan. We touched on it a little bit, I believe, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and things have just gotten worse and messier as it's gone on. It was revealed, it was in a tweet. Rey Fenix tweeted out that no one deserves to stay at a place that makes them go through inhumane treatment. And then there was a report from Dr. Chris Featherstone, who said that Rey Fenix can't comment on anything quite yet because he's still under contract. But when the Lucha Brothers are free, they'll have their time to talk, and it's going to get ugly.
Oh, shit, that's frightening. Oh, shit. Because Featherstone's been on one recently, and he ain't been wrong. Here's what I would do, which means I should probably bang my head against the wall several times and see what that does to my IQ. But until then, I'll try my best to pretend to get into his headspace. If there's any truth to what Phoenix and what's-his-face, Penta, have to say about you, about the doctor things and things like this, which Punk already brought up. Here's what you do. You make a compromise. You make them sign an NDA, and then you let Dummy go. Him and his brother and Conan have to sign an NDA, and then you all can fuck off, and we all go our separate ways. We're done. Otherwise, you're in deep shit. That's the last thing you need is motherfuckers telling people that you get treated inhumanely. What the fuck?
Inhumanely? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the same thing. I said, I was like, yeah, if it's anything, if they got any dirt on you, it's time to pull out the NDAs.
You should have some leftover copy, right? You had
Yeah,
Jericho lock
just
people in hotel rooms.
cross out Jericho's name and then put himself for AEW in the filler. But yeah, it's an interesting story. We're going to talk, of course, more about it coming up on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast on Saturday. But it's just been a whole entire mess. Ray Phoenix has since deleted those tweets that he put out.
That's good news for Triple H.
I think it was probably Triple H. Like, man, this is not a good look. The GPS is saying that you just have to wait your time, and you'll be here pretty soon. So I think you should delete those tweets. It's only going to make
Someone said he deleted. Someone said they deleted AEW from his Twitter thing too. I wonder if they let him go.
I could see that. I could see them cutting bait.
Should. What you keep him around for? That's why I never understood any of this. He was very rude.
Yeah.
So what? It's Ray Phoenix. What? Is it MJF? Yeah, keep him around to do what?
Exactly. If you're not going to use them and not going to get any benefit out of them, especially not wrestling, then you have no reason to keep them under contract.
So goofy.
It is. It's pretty goofy. The whole situation is. We do have a super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, well, we need to give you one of these.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Chuck Berry says, quick question, guys. Is the term fatal four-way a WWE copyright? If so, I am here for the petty shit. Mox, LOL. I think that it is a WWE copyrighted term. That's why I was like, okay. Never heard y'all. I usually would hear them say four-way, three-way. They don't usually. Well, we heard Cole. What was it? A couple of weeks ago before Full Gear, he said a triple threat with him, Roderick Strong, and MJF. So maybe they don't have it copyrighted as like a term to use. Maybe it's copyrighted as an event for like Fatal Four-Way, and maybe they're able to use it.
No, I could have swore I've heard triple threat elsewhere. I mean, but fucking, who watched this show? Nick Khan's not watching the show. Triple H's not watching the show. Triple H might, he's a nerd, but like,
Triple H watches everything. He tried to be low on it, but he got caught. But we also got here Power Driver Finisher, who says there's some detours that aren't going to do Triple H any favors. You got to do the Triple H voice whenever you do it. We got Shadi in the chat. Good to see you, sir. He says TK legit one of the funniest motherfuckers out there. Laughed my fucking ass off.
I love watching Tony Khan outside of wrestling. He's hilarious to watch. It's like when you see those bums come on the train, start yelling about stuff. Everybody else is like, "Oh, my day is ruined." I'm like, "This is the best part of the day. What are you talking about? Let him rock." Please and thank you.
You be the motherfucker when the police come. You be like, "Boo, tomato, boo."
I pay no attention to anything on the train. Always have my headphones on. Then the bums come in, my headphones come off. What does he have to say? Please continue, sir.
He's like, I am all ears. But yes, what we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming, 2024. What did you think about the crowd last night in the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri?
A good crowd. The front row was up the whole night, really. One time they really got quiet was, well, I don't remember. We'll see throughout the show. They definitely got quiet at some point. They're mostly loud.
Yeah, they got involved in most of the matches. Like a couple of matches, maybe they started out kind of like quiet, but then they got into it. Pretty much all the matches during the show. So I did like the crowd. I do not like the fact that it wasn't a bigger building again because of last week's show, and last week's show being one of my favorite crowds. I wish that they could have found another building and packed 4,000 people in there, and it would have even sounded even better.
Yeah, what was it, 18,000, I think? That's all.
Yeah, it's an 18,000 seater, but I assume with like production and stage, they have like 15,000 available. But they probably cut off everything 200 and above.
When is the small crowds coming? The smaller buildings coming?
I guess it really starts with the Hammerstein, which I do have an announcement. I am going to ROH Final Battle.
See, they're looking out for you over there.
They're like, hey, you know, Jimmy and him don't talk about Ring of Honor because I haven't heard anything about the AEW events at Hammerstein yet. I heard back about ROH Final Battle, but they was like, you know what? You and Jimmy only talk about AEW. You could send them one for Ring of
Honor. Well, congrats.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of y'all. Y'all make it possible for sure. But let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming. Excalibur welcomes us to the show alongside Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness as the music of the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley hits. And it's time for our tag team opener, which saw Moxley teaming up with Pac to go up against Orange Cassidy and Switchblade Jay White. Schiavone mentioned having the hell scared out of him interviewing Jon Moxley after the events that took place on Collision. And Moxley said he's given Orange Cassidy a stay of execution. This led to the tag team matchup, which wasted no time in starting with a all-out brawl between all the guys. We got Cassidy and White wasting no time, taking the fight to Pac and Moxley on the floor until Moxley turns the tables, sending Cassidy crashing into the steel steps. They officially begin in the ring with Pac and White in the ring as Moxley quickly intervenes and had a chop exchange with White. Moxley avoided a Blade Runner as Cassidy made a blind tag, which seemed to upset Jay White. But on the other hand, you had Pac make a blind tag on Moxley, and they're kind of on the same page. So I like that little visual storytelling that they did there. We also see the Patriarchy is in the skybox, one of the suites at T-Mobile Center, watching this matchup. This was a cool little camera view that they did here, coming back from commercial break. We get Christian holding his AEW World Title contract case. White was able to make a hot tag, spiking both Pac and Moxley. I love in the early going, one of like the additional stories of the match was White always getting the better of Moxley whenever they went one-on-one with each other, whether it was the chop exchange, whether it was the DDT. And I love Jay calling that out, being like, I always got your number. I always got your number. White continued to was beat down. He took the heat in the matchup as Cage gave orders to Kip Sabian, Nick Wayne, and Mother Wayne, who all left the suite. White and Pac collided in a double down, resulting in dual tags to Cassidy and Moxley. Crowd reacted big to these two getting back into the ring, the Full Gear main event. And Orange Cassidy ran wild. We get a series of spinning DDT. He gets a stun dog millionaire, and then that transitions into a sleeper suplex by Jay White. Moxley missed a charge into the corner and was planted with a beach break for a close two for Cassidy. The crowd was on their feet as Yuta runs distraction. Marina Shafir tried to trip up Orange Cassidy, who actually booted her. I was like, way to go, Orange. Stop getting beat up by that girl. He shoved her to the floor. Orange punch to Yuta. Orange punch to Moxley. He was winding up for another home run shot. Orange punch to Moxley. When Hangman Adam Page pops out of nowhere, he sprints and tackles Moxley, causing a disqualification. Cassidy went to pull Hangman off of Moxley, but Page threw a punch, and the fight was briefly on until Switchblade Jay White came in and fought off Hangman. Orange went for an orange punch on Hangman, but he ducked, and he hit White with the orange punch instead. We get Cassidy. Cassidy then tries to hit one on Page, but Page is able to recover, but he eventually drops Page with an orange punch. But then Switchblade is able to recover. He drops Orange with the Blade Runner. Page, White, and Cassidy are slowly recovering and arguing while they get up on the mat. When Moxley, Pac, and Yuta and Shafir all recover, they hit the ring and attack all the men in the ring, leaving them all laying as the three top challengers for the AEW World Title lay motionless. what did you think about this opening contest and the post match where we got a little sign of unity between Team AEW last week in the post match of White versus Pac? There was no unity here. It was soon forgotten because Hangman is a hothead.
Why are they Team AEW again? Because they're going against the Death Riders, who are not trying to take over anymore. So what's the issue? What's the beef? Why would we be together? We all want the belt. Whatever.
That's also true. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like, why it should be selfish means after that if they're not taking over the company.
Yeah, Mox was good. Looks like he got in better shape too. Looks fantastic. Jay White is a star. He just feels like a star in everything I see him in, and this was no different. His ad libs are fantastic. The one you pointed out, he's just yelling. The crowd decided to be quiet for that one moment as he's yelling. I got your number. All right.
I got your number. I got your number. And then he goes and he just does like the big run up into the corner.
Yeah, he gets whopped.
So even more hilarious, yes, because then he gets booted right in the face.
Yeah, everybody seems to agree. The Jay and Mox stuff is the best stuff of relative ease. Everything else, I've seen this 100 times already. Enough of Orange Cassidy. I'm sorry. He's good. He's an all-star. Be an all-star somewhere else. Be an all-star not involved with Mox in him. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't take you seriously. And Hangman's character is fun. He just kind of works everywhere. So yeah, overall, tag match was good. Jay and Mox, great. Everything else. Yeah.
That's fair. I wasn't hugely liking this match. I kind of like it. There was stuff about it that I didn't like. I actually liked the DQ finish because I said like the alternative is that probably Jay and Orange probably should have won this one to kind of legitimize them as challengers for Moxley. But I also don't want to go into like the trope of Pac and Claudio and Yuta are just here to take falls for Moxley. Because we know that if they would have won this, if the babyfaces won this matchup, they're pinning Pac. They're not pinning Moxley. So I do respect them for trying to not have Pac take all the falls after losing the singles match with White last week.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. No, it's not as much fun when you all agree with me, but I guess I'll take it. Yeah.
Christopher Kidd says it was a good TV match, but not a winter is coming match.
All right, Jesus, let's relax. Take it easy. It's not fucking All In. It's not fucking WrestleMania. Knock it off. Jesus, this wasn't a winter is coming. Let's stop it.
Yeah, it didn't live up to the legacy of winter.
All right, relax. It's Hogan and Andre, take it easy.
Hanukkah says the pockets are of quite brought the match down just a little bit. I dug him, and I thought he got the one of the bigger reactions of the matchup when he was running well.
Sure. So what? He's still. Let me tell you something. I see my mom every Thursday. Every Thursday. But 1 week I saw her on Wednesday. So I was like, I'm gonna knock out two things in one stone. I'm gonna watch Dynamite and hang out with my mom at the same time. Therefore, my 4 hours is 2 hours once again. We got 30 minutes to the show, and she wanted me to turn it off. She usually doesn't care what I watch, but she wanted me to turn that off because what was it? Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Colorado. Whatever week that was, we had a triple threat. Mm-hmm. She was like, she just can't buy Orange Cassidy at all. Okay. She said he's too small compared to Kyle O'Reilly. Fair enough. Whatever. All right.
And Roderick Strong.
All right. Whatever. Hey, you've got the eyes here. I'm a wrestling fan. You would know better.
To be fair, yeah. Casual eyes are better than wrestling eyes. We misjudge things all the fucking time. But yeah. You got Big Red Dogs. It says, whenever I'm with my mom and she hears Dynamite in the background, she complains about the commentators.
Oh, Shivani was heinous this episode. What the fuck was going on? Good. Maybe it's because he's next to Nigel. And Nigel just makes everybody else look worse.
Oh, Nigel was getting under his skin.
he might be an actual shitty Ted. Because when Nigel called him shitty Ted, he got really upset.
It was like you had 5 shots at it and you couldn't get it right.
All right.
all right now. All right. I'm about to get my Glock. We hear from Moxley and the Death Riders following this matchup. They are backstage. Jon Moxley said he's a marked man, and heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's the only way to live, with a knife to your throat. He wouldn't have it any other way. Everyone is all about their ego, wanting the next title shot. Their egos run their lives and run All Elite Wrestling. None of this is about Moxley. So he said he'll give them an early Christmas gift. World's End Fatal 4-Way for the World Championship. And later in the show, it was made official. It will be Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship in a 4-way matchup against Switchblade Jay White, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, and Hangman Adam Page. This should be an awesome matchup. I'm not sure how we got here, if I like it or if I don't. I much rather prefer my way of getting to here was Tony Khan or the company, if he wants to do it through Avatar, Christopher Daniels, is the one that puts Moxley in this 4-way. Him making the challenge for this 4-way doesn't make him like the heel in this situation. It makes him more of a badass babyface.
It certainly does. And it makes the rest of the bitches.
Or I'm gonna need AEW to explain the fact that because I can rationalize this by how everything went down in the post match. What Moxley saw is when these guys are all united as one, aiming at him, they took him down the week prior. But when they are distracted by each other, he was able to beat them down and stand tall. So that's why he wants the 4-way, because they'll get distracted with each other and make his path to winning the matchup easier. But you need to say that. You need to say that if that is what you're trying to get across.
As opposed to what? Well, like, it only works if there's an alternative to the Fatal 4-way, which there isn't. What, a fucking 1-on-3 handicap match for the title? What? What if there's no Fatal 4-way? Then what? Is the title under more threat? It isn't. I don't understand this logic at all.
All of these guys would be coming after at once.
The Pockets guy he just beat. Not Ancaster, Stan Pockets. Fucking Orange Cassidy he just beat. Who else? Hangman.
Jay White, who he's never beat 1-on-1.
Hangman. So he should just why not?
And Hangman, who beat him in a Texas Death Match.
Thought Jay White. Challenge Orange Cassidy again. Me and Orange Cassidy.
He said there was the other alternative of just challenging you just beat.
Yeah, I like your explanation, but I'm sorry. I ironically, Orange Cassidy, the only one that doesn't fit. Not only visually doesn't that fit, apparently he's the only one who can't beat Moxley or hasn't beaten him recently. Moxley just beat you. Why are we having this match? Why is he in this match again? Can somebody explain it to me?
Because he's obsessed with making sure Jon Moxley is not the AEW
World
obsessed.
Champion. How does that get you a title shot? Isn't the whole company obsessed? Whatever.
He's here. He's paying attention to it, unlike these other motherfuckers who obsessed with MJF and their undisputed drama. I did like the fact that Yuta got some heat, even being at ringside during this tag team matchup as well. I wanted to mention that Yuta was getting the crowd booing at him and "fuck you, Yuta" chants.
Yeah, I guess.
Big Man Doy says Yuta looked like he didn't know what to do with his hands.
If you start watching some of these people, you realize they have no, outside of the ring, they have no idea what to do. Do you get training with that, or is that natural? There's no idea what to do standing here. I feel naked. I don't know what to tell you.
See, he gets it. Christopher Kidd said, Mox said, I don't want these extra 2 1-on-1 matches at all. See? He's like, why face y'all one at a time? I'm gonna face y'all all at once.
Okay, so then I don't want to keep going into fucking logical circles with you all, but then okay, why is Orange Cassidy in this match? Because if Orange Cassidy in this match, that means beating somebody doesn't remove them from your path. Therefore, when he beats these three, what happens? Nothing, because beating people means nothing. They'll just show up again next month.
No, this is how he really gets rid of
He really gets rid of him.
He just got by at Full Gear. He didn't eradicate him the way that he needs.
He's going to eradicate these three? Right.
Yep.
Right.
Eradicate them from out of his path. We got Christian Cage was watching all of this go down. So he has a microphone in the Skybox suite. And he says, he literally looks down on all the crowd. They should shut their mouths. Cage says that he has a problem with that being a four-way at World's End and has issues with all four men in the matchup. Jon Moxley has what he wants. Jay White cost him his AEW World Title shot at Full Gear. Hangman Adam Page didn't, come through on his end of the bargain, while Orange Cassidy is a piss ant. Cage will force Moxley to go back to rehab and have a drink. He'll hear that little voice saying, "It's all right, John. It's all right, John. You deserve one." While he will rehab the AEW World Title. Christian then backs up in the suite. He turns his back to the door and he says that he's leaving now. When we see Hook appear at the door, he has his hand taped up, and he breaks the glass window with his hand. He then comes into the suite. He catches up to Christian with his arm in a cast, and he applies the red rum. Christian almost shoved off the balcony by Hook, but he was able to fight himself free briefly. Hook then sent Cage flying through the food on a table as Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne finally come back from whatever mission Christian sent them on as they try to fight off Hook, but Hook was able to stand tall as the patriarchy bailed. This was not what a great Dynamite moment, as Giovanni put it. But I will say it is the best that Hook has looked since his match with Joe in January.
Agreed. He beat up people. He's like a badass. When he got overwhelmed, time to go. Absolutely. Smart babyface for the win. Christian was good. Whenever he fucks up, by the way, he always goes, "Shut up." And people move on from him fucking up. It's hilarious. And it works every time. There's something else I want to say. It slipped my fucking mind. Oh, my headcanon is Christian sent those two idiots to fucking rattle Hangman's cage. That's why Hangman came out. He was annoyed. They explained none of that at all. This was fun. Christian's great, as per always. Even though this Hook thing they're never pretending that it's not a side story. This is just keeping Christian busy.
Do you think we get a Hook and Christian at World's End?
Ooh, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Be interesting who wins that. I would think Christian because he has the title shot, but
it's the title shot whenever.
Yeah.
When lose or draw.
I feel like the AEW is going to treat this like WWE treats having the Money in the Bank. Like, oh, you're free to lose however many we want because you have a world title shot guaranteed.
In story, Christian should not want any part of Moxley at all. Why wouldn't he just wait until somebody who doesn't have a crew wins the belt?
Yeah. But also in story, Christian would never admit that.
Very true.
Christian would act like a big bad guy, being like, I'm gonna settle the rehab. I'm gonna be the savior. I think that they are building to this. Whatever, like, I know it's taken a while to get there, but whenever they cash through on the inevitable Darby beats Moxley for Christian to cash in, and then Christian's promo after with him saying, "I saved the AEW World Championship from the Death Rider." I am going to cry tears of joy. It's going to be one of the greatest promos that I've ever seen in my life.
Now, here's hoping. I have less faith in that than you do. Sorry.
Fair. Also fair. We also got Power Driver Finisher says, I get he's supposed to hate Christian, but he says the same thing. And I noticed that too. Christian will stutter and move on. Legend.
And shut up. It's great.
That was perfect. Perfect response, sir. Next, we get a Bandido Wild West vignette with Bandido riding on horseback as other cowboys are telling him he's under arrest and can do this the easy way or the hard way. Bandido gets off of his horse. He took off his cape and laid out all 4 cowboys, including, given the last one, the 21 plex on concrete. I think that he might be dead. I will say, this is more creativity that we see for 95% of returns in AEW. It might not be on the person that you want it to be used on, Jimmy, but you got to give it up for the creativity at play here.
No, I don't. This stinks. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's not about it being Bandido. It's about this is awful. I'm sorry. Just bring him back. I don't need any creativity. First of all, it's fucking Bandido. Just bring him back. It's not a big deal. And this is just corny. Like, what is this? Oh, I'm so annoyed. The cowboy. This is a rollout for an Eminem album. Like, get to it. Just get to it.
I enjoyed it. Especially the 21 flex. That popped me to no end. I was like, why is he doing a 21 flex during a fucking cowboy fight? Next up, we get our first Continental Classic Gold League matchup of the evening. The aerial assassin, Will Ospreay.
What the fuck is that?
Are you talking about the comb over? The comb back?
What is that?
His hair looks luscious. Don't do that.
We gotta have a conversation about Will Ospreay in the main event after this, by the way.
Because of his hair?
It's a build up. The hair is just the final straw. Enough out of you.
He's going one-on-one with the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli. These 2 men, right from the start, really came at it all full speed ahead. You get Ospreay sprinting into a Spanish fly within seconds. Scase special quickly followed up by a pip Cheerio connected back inside for a 2 count. Ospreay wanted a Oz cutter, but Claudio caught him in midair with an uppercut. We got Ospreay twist out of the giant swing into a roll-up for 2. Castagnoli floated over, but Ospreay, he ate an Ospreay hook kick for a double down. Both slowly got to their feet and started slugging out with each other. Castagnoli wrenched on the arm of Ospreay. Claudio tried sending Ospreay into the steel step, but Ospreay cleared them and then drop kicked the steps into the legs. He tried to leap off, but Castagnoli caught him and then slammed him hard into the barricade. He then does a giant swing into the goddamn steel steps as Castagnoli tipped the steps over and trapped Ospreay's arm between them and stomped down on it. Ospreay tried to battle back with another pip Cheerio, but Claudio once again catches him with a mid-air uppercut to keep control. He applies a sharpshooter, but Ospreay sprung out into a springboard Hurricane Rana and a handspring corkscrew kick for a reset. We get Ospreay fighting out of a superplex on the top rope. He tries for a leap of faith, but he rolls through when Claudio moves out the way, and Claudio turns that into a pop-up European uppercut. Toying with Ospreay only fired him up as we get a forearm uppercut battle between the 2. Ospreay ducked one of the European uppercuts and then hits the Oz cutter flush, but Castagnoli wisely rolls out of the ring. Ospreay wanted the hidden blade, but he ran right into a pop-up uppercut. Claudio hit a home run lariat, but Ospreay's able to kick out, marking the first time anyone's kicked out of Claudio's big lariat in the tournament. Claudio is looking to put things away. He picks up Ospreay and he tries to set him up for the neutralizers, but after all the big moves, it is a wrestling move, the jackknife pin. 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay wins to get 3 points in the Gold League of the Continental Classic. Now he is tied with Claudio Castagnoli at 6 points, 2-0 so far. And I love that commentary mentioned that Ospreay basically had a bye week last week, so he has more matches than anyone else in the Gold League. So we're gonna see what this schedule does on his body throughout the rest of the tournament. Post match, you get Will Ospreay celebrating until Claudio attacks him from behind. He hits a neutralizer before getting a steel chair, but Darby Allin comes down with a baseball bat. He runs off Claudio, who escapes through the crowd, and then he stares down with Will Ospreay as those two men will go one-on-one next Wednesday on AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash in the Gold League from Washington, D.C. What did you think about Ospreay versus Claudio? Me, myself, I thought this was a great match. These guys kind of styles kind of work well with each other. Claudio, we've known this. Me and you, we've seen Claudio for nearly 2 decades now. We know how well he does with a high flyer, a speed guy like Will Ospreay, and Will always does great against a power guy. So this was another great addition. And even in the loss, they have kept Claudio so strong throughout this beginning of the Continental Classic. What did you think?
Agreed. Too little, too late, but agreed. They're trying. I mean, he's been here how long?
2 years.
It's the longest 2 years ever. Good Lord. What was that? Yeah, good match. You would imagine these two work well together, and they did. Ospreay works just about well with anybody. And Claudio, starting to feel like, I won't say a monster. Monster's too strong, but a heavy, we'll call him. It worked well for me. Finish. I don't like the finish at all. I don't care about keeping Claudio strong because he's facing Will Ospreay, who's supposed to be a main eventer. But now we have to have a conversation. We just have to. I put it off as long as I could. We got to. Might be time to change the status. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I was like, why am I keeping him in this spot? He's popular, so it's fucking Orange Cassidy. He's not a man eventer. Sorry. Yeah, you know what? You're getting demoted. I'm sorry. Not yet. I want to see how next week goes. I want to see how the Darby match goes. He's got let's say he's got a 65. He's got to keep a 65 to maintain his spot, and he's got a 65 going into the fucking match. That's how I'm looking at it. It was the MJF stuff. Then there was a Pac match. Then there's some Kyle Fletcher shit. None of this is main event worthy. What are we doing here? Then we're beating Claudio for roll up. What are we doing here? Come on, man. Time to have a conversation. Sorry. And the hair. Sorry. We can't do it.
Make Visa starting a match with a Spanish fly caught me off guard. We also got Frantic World who says Will Ospreay got that CW One Tree Hill hairstyle, looking like Chad Michael Murray out here in these streets.
What the fuck do y'all be watching?
He said, "What the fuck, y'all niggas watching?"
How? Why do you get to keep your main event status when you're not doing main event things? He's not a main man. You don't get to do whatever you want. No. Sorry.
I love Big Man Dogs explaining it as Steiner math. It didn't sound like Steiner math. It's like you got a 65, you got 65.5 chance right now to still be in a main eventer after next week.
Yeah. Sorry. What do you want from me? You don't get to do a bunch of bullshit, put all your friends over, and then maintain your status. That's not how that works. You're sacrificing yourself for them. That's how that works. That's why it's called a sacrifice, sir.
Fair enough. We go backstage to Renee Paquette. She is with another Gold League member participant, Ricochet, who says that tonight, this is why he came to AEW, for the competition. Tonight, he has Brody King for the first time ever. He's big, bad, and scary. But one thing he's not is Ricochet. They're both 1-1 in the Continental Classic. He looks in his suit jacket pocket and he pulls out the MVP business card for the Hurt Syndicate, saying that tonight all the cards are in his hand. And then walks away.
Go ahead. You guys are fans. Explain yourself. Explain yourself.
I like this. I like this as a tease for his heel turn. But I will say, I was like, I think that this is the best direction because a lot of his more cringier, cornier quirks will come off better as a heel.
Jesus. This shit was shocking to watch. I was like, holy shit. You must watch the Ramble because he's turned his corniness up to 11. I didn't think it was that possible. What the fuck? This is why you never made it, sir. This is why you've had a great career, but never where you wanted to be. Because this is who you are. Corny. It's fine. It's fine. Ugh.
You don't say it like it's fine. You're like, it's fine.
Actually cringeworthy. I never knew what that meant. That's what that means. Ugh. That.
Fair enough. We see a truck pull up to the building, and then a hand comes out with the Dynamite diamond ring on it. And yes, MJF is in the flesh, arriving to the building. He is here to watch the upcoming match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Then we get highlights from Rampage and the confrontation between Chris Jericho and Matt Cardona ahead of their Ring of Honor World title match at Final Battle at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Renee Paquette is backstage with Cardona, who says that he's always ready and he belongs in AEW. For the past 5 years, he's reinvented himself on the independent scene. And after Jericho and Brian Keith laid him out last week, he wants Keith on Rampage to give Jericho a preview of what to expect at Final Battle.
Belong in AEW. Says who? Not your contract status, clearly.
Then we hear from Chris Jericho later in the show with a New York minute. He rattles off New York references in the wrong order, saying that Matt Cardona must be upset they left him laying like a used Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure. That's also from New York, he says. Jericho accepts Cardona's challenge to Brian Keith and says that he'll be on commentary. He then plugs that their contract signing for their title match will go down on Ring of Honor TV on Thursday, and Jericho calls Cardona delusional for thinking that he'll walk out of the Hammerstein Ballroom the ROH World Champion. Keith said Cardona made a mistake putting his crummy hands on Chris Jericho, and he'll make sure he pays the price.
Has he done nothing in the last year? Why does he feel less hot than he did when he first showed up here? He feels like less of a big deal. Cardona, is that true? Would you say that's the case?
I think he feels like less of a big deal because he's a babyface, and that's not how he got hot. That's like basically that would be like if WWE, because you remember Cody in 2018 compared to Cody now. That'd be like WWE having Cody when Cody was a free agent, done with Ring of Honor in New Japan in 2018, and they bought him in to play Cody of 2024 after he was the number one heel in wrestling in 2018. That would be like them doing that. So yes, it's a little jarring for anyone who's been watching Cardona over the last 4 years since he left WWE. It's a little jarring to be like, he's the babyface for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Nothing about this goddamn matchup feels Ring of Honor worthy. And then you bring in Cardona to face the wrong guy. If you're going to bring in Cardona, he comes in as the invading guest star to the Ring of Honor World Champion, Mark Briscoe. But they believe that Jericho is still this big name that's going to draw well for them at Final Battle. And he probably will, but Matt Cardona is not the best choice to be his opponent.
It was very nice. Very nicely said. It's over. It's over. You had your run. 5-year run, however long you say it was. It's over. You didn't get that call from AEW. You didn't get that call from the Fed. It is what it is. Enjoy your time in ROH. You and Jericho putting on those classics. I'm going to move on with life if you don't mind. I appreciate what he's done, by the way. He got released and he turned himself into something. I appreciate it. That's more than impressive. But, yeah, I'm over it. Sorry.
I don't think that he's. I mean, okay. If you want me to be
He's not watching. You'll be all right. Go ahead.
he missed his peak. He missed the peak. He missed the peak of his post WWE run. His post WWE run, and he had a long peak. It went from like 2021 when he has the match, the death match with Nick Gage, all the way, I would say, until like last year, because he went all around. He went to GCW. He was tearing it up there. Went all across the independent scene. Was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion at one point. But that 2-year stretch, he gets hurt, I think, at the end of 2023, early 2024, and that kind of hurt his momentum. And, you know, this might pick it up, but you're not coming to AEW ROH at a very hot time.
Miss Peaks, and that's a very nice way to put it. We'll go with that. That does sound better. Yes. Thank you, Chuck Barris. That's a very good point. Who cares if he missed his peak? He's got fucking Chelsea Green. He'll be fine.
Exactly. He's winning in life, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
He's paid. He's winning in life. He's getting more money now than he was making during his WWE run, which is astonishing.
You might be cooking there. You might be cooking. He might be cooking.
Yeah. But like I said, I think that his peak ended last year because he was able to recover from losing Chelsea, because he replaced Chelsea with Steph DeLander, and that kind of kept his act going for a little while longer. Because he loses Chelsea at the beginning of 2023, but he was able to maintain his momentum by replacing her with Steph DeLander. But now Steph DeLander's out with a neck injury, so yeah, he doesn't feel like the big deal or the hot act that he was a year ago.
Would you make her the U.S. champion, by the way? Or would you give it to Michin or somebody?
Oh, Chelsea Green was my choice from the beginning. It needs to come down to Chelsea and Tiffany Stratton. It'll probably come down to Chelsea and Michin, but I think Tiffany is a better option.
Swerve? What's wrong with Michin?
Michin? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Michin. I think that we've already done the Michin and Chelsea program, and I think it was pretty decent. But was it good enough to now rewind it a month later for the
rewind it? We're doing a match. Rewinding it, doing a match. But yeah, I'm fine with Tiffany. I'm fine with anything.
I like Tiffany more because it can be used as more of a catalyst to her babyface turn, because she got a hell of a reaction last week in Minneapolis. I know that's her hometown, but she got a huge reaction.
Yeah, Tiffany's a fucking star. She's like, that'd be nice. Roman's not watching, is he? She's like Charlotte with charisma. It's like, good Lord, that's a lot.
Someone clip it! Someone clip it and tag Romy!
I'm sorry. I'm just, good Lord. Not Charlotte's not uncharismatic, but let's not. We put them two together. We know who's going to fucking fill up the room. No disrespect.
That was so good. That was so good. So good. So good. Chris is our chat's annual Bailey fan. What is it? Perennial? Or I don't know. But he's our Bailey fan in the chat. He says Bailey is not losing to Chelsea Green. Bailey needs to lose to Chelsea Green. Needs to.
I'm in agreement here. Listen, love Bailey. Come on, man. You had your time. Cough it up. Chelsea Green stuff.
Exactly.
We don't talk about that. Innocent until proven guilty. We don't want to talk about that at all.
You don't want to talk about your boy Ho?
Innocent until proven guilty. That's all I know. Okay. Let's not just jump on the bandwagon. Why? Where's the evidence? Where are your witnesses? Wait until all the facts come out. There's no need to be running around throwing everybody under the bus because somebody said something. Give it a minute.
Why do you fucking sound like Shauna from Entourage when Nick gets in trouble?
Come on. Just take it easy. Let's just take it easy.
Renee Paquette is backstage with Kyle O'Reilly before his match with Adam Cole, baby, when Matt Taven and Mike Bennett interrupt. Taven said they didn't need to do this. MJF is making them look like idiots. Bennett said for him to relax, regardless of what happens out there, we'll still be family at the end of the day. O'Reilly said they should have thought of that before one of their brothers got hurt. This leads to Adam Cole, baby, going one-on-one with his former best friend and tag team partner, Kyle O'Reilly. We get an early feeling out process between the two men, showing how well they know each other. We had various exchanges throughout this matchup, which showed how well they knew each other's arsenal. We get instances where O'Reilly knows when Cole is going to go for the super kick, or when O'Reilly is going to go for a mid kick. Cole was ready for it. O'Reilly went for a corner charge, but he ate a Cole super kick instead. Cole wanted the Panama Sunrise, but O'Reilly hits a pump knee. He wants a brain buster, but Cole hits one of his own on his knee. He fakes a high super kick and then hits a low one, but O'Reilly recovers and connects with a diving knee from the apron. Back inside, O'Reilly missed a diving knee as Cole wanted a super kick. O'Reilly dodged and hit a knee to the ribs, but Cole didn't go down as he hit a desperation flying knee for a double down. We get ankle lock attempt by O'Reilly at various points of the matchup. He is a big Nigel lariat as well. We get Cole fighting to the ropes after the ankle lock. Cole headbutts out of a super kick and hits the Panama Sunrise, but he took too long to follow up, so O'Reilly was able to pick his ankle again into the ankle lock. O'Reilly goes for a brain buster, but he ate a super kick instead. Back inside, O'Reilly collapsed as the referee checked on him. With the referee distracted, this allowed MJF to run down. He looked for a cheap shot on Cole with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but Cole ducked, hits a super kick to MJF on the apron. O'Reilly nearly stole the win with a schoolboy, but Cole was able to kick out. And then he gets an inside cradle for the 1-2-3. Adam Cole moves on to face MJF at AEW World's End on the 28th. MJF stormed off through the crowd as he was pissed at this result. Mike Bennett and Matt Taven came down to the ring to congratulate Cole. He offered a handshake to O'Reilly, who refused and walked off as he didn't get what he wanted here. But it is official. Adam Cole, baby, versus MJF 3 for the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring at World's End, 1 year from when MJF found out that Cole was the devil.
A year ago. Oh my God.
This started off with the crowd mighty quiet, not really into things. They did get into it towards like the middle of the matchup, kind of when they started doing their nice little counters and sequences like that. I thought that the middle portion was the strongest portion of the matchup. Didn't like the result here because I do agree. Sometimes when you do the same finish, it is rather annoying if you're paying attention. And, you mentioned it last week with the heels winning in the Continental Classic matches on the show. But when you have Will Ospreay, of all people, who has 4,700 moves he could possibly win a match with, he wins it with a jackknife pin. And then you have this match where Cole winning with a small package. You could have just gave Cole the win with a boot, like at this point, or gave Ospreay the win with a flash hidden blade. Like either way, you got to change one of those finish, especially when they're happening basically back to back. What did you think?
I can't tell you how much I shit my pants when MJF showed up. I thought Kyle O'Reilly was to win this fucking thing, and I would have cried. Listen, match was fine. It might have even been good. I couldn't even tell you. I was so not invested in this match.
It was solid.
Fair enough. Cole won. That's step one. Step one. Step two is it ends at World's End. We need a Cole victory to make that happen. Then that's what should happen. Please and thank you. So then we can move on to probably Cole and O'Reilly. Good Lord. But hey, well, we need to get MJF out of this. Because this is jarring.
Gotta get MJ. We gotta save MJF. MJF has been not in the main event for way too long. Way too long, in my book. Way too long.
Agreed.
Christopher Cade says, does Cole win and take the last thing he can from MJF, then announces he's the villain? That would be the best ending to this. Because he could just move on. MJF can stay a heel, but then Cole can become a heel. Which is probably for the best.
Sounds good to me. I don't know why Kyle O'Reilly's upset. I thought we wanted to get revenge for Roddy. Isn't that what Cole's going to go do?
You upset because you couldn't get the revenge for him? Like, what?
Shocking.
You don't make any sense. Sir.
No, Annika. MJF has made man status. No. MJF's made man. MJF, Moxley, Mercedes. Who else in this fucking place? Dragon still count?
Yeah.
Dragon.
Omega.
You can do whatever they want. Omega. Those are my 5. I was wondering what the 5th one was. Those are my 5. 15 people on the planet.
I'll take it.
5 in AEW. Yes.
There's how many in the planet?
15.
Wow. The other 10 are in WWE?
Yeah. Punk, Seth, Rhea, Becky. I got Drew in there now after the Punk feud. Bobby and Swerve, knock it off. Cody, Roman, Orton, Charlotte, and Bianca.
Okay.
You know, argue about Drew, you argue about Drew, but we're not talking about the rest.
Drew is actually, if I had to rank because we're doing our list and stuff, men's wrestler of the year, he's like the second one, the second person on my top 10 from WWE outside of Cody.
Oh, man,
no, 3. No, he's 1 of 3. 1 of 3 because Gunther's in my top 10.
Oh, yeah. Drew Crush.
Yeah, I almost disrespected my boy. I can't do that.
No, stop it. You go with Swerve and Page on the same level as MJF and Moxley? Come on now. No disrespect. They're great. Fantastic to watch. Come on now. Come on now. Hangman's fighting Jeff Jarrett. Come on now. What are we doing? Oh, come on now. Don't do that, Skip.
That was the follow-up for him and him as well.
Come on. Knock it off.
We got up next. We go backstage.
Wait, that a super chat that did we?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder here. We got a super chat donation from our boy Will Chisholm. Will, we haven't seen you a lot lately, but we appreciate you showing some love to us today on AEWramble, so we will allow you to.
Oh, speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my gosh, Shivani. What the hell is wrong with you?
Will says, not a good week for Japanese women losing to blonde white women last night, and sadly, EO to live, but EO for the Rumble. If EO loses tomorrow on Saturday, she's not winning the Royal Rumble. I'm just going to let you know.
Why not?
I'll break that news to you. She's not going to win the Royal
Why
Rumble.
not?
She does not.
Who can argue with that logic?
Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley. Those are the people that will probably win the Royal Rumble.
Rhea's beating Liv. Probably on Netflix, I guess. Because they're going nuts on Netflix. They're losing their fucking minds. I'm not mad at it, but I appreciate it.
They saying Roman going to fight on the debut. I was like, God damn, they going in. Yeah. Are they going to do the Roman and solo match there?
I wouldn't be shocked. You probably should.
They're getting all the media matches that they thought about 6 months ago on this Netflix show. Punk and
everything
Seth
didn't work out.
Punk and Seth, Roman and Solo.
I won't be shocked if we got Priest and Balor too.
You keep trying. Why you keep trying? It's not happening.
It's over. We're done. We're done with Priest and Balor.
I know this, but Paul doesn't.
Wait, you wanted to do Live in Rehab Mania. Not wanted to, but you assume that would happen. It's over. Done. We're done with that. We're doing Rhea and EO Mania. You saw it.
Why do I still think, even if Rhea wins this title, she's still going to have to deal with Liv at Mania? in a triple threat, at least. At least still give them a triple.
Listen, I like Liv. We all like Liv. Everybody likes Liv. Not as much as some of these cycles on Twitter do, but everybody likes Liv. Fucking take your tag showcase. Come on, it's fine. I hope so. I don't want to think about too much longer. Just have EO win. But you got to relive again.
I said this on Rated Raw review. I was like, I'm over this Liv shit. I was like, Liv. I was like, you're on the clock. You're on the clock. Like if you can't get a good or great match out of EO Sky on Saturday, it's over. It's over. We need to cut bait. And just be like, she is capable of being an entertaining character if we can find the right storyline and feud for her, but she cannot be counted on to be a champion who can deliver in the ring.
Fair enough. She's a star. That's it. But you got to be a star.
She was a star in the Rio.
She's off. She's a star. She's one of the top 10, whatever fucks. She's a star. She just can't have the
So
belt.
she's an all-star?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you mean she's not Rhea, she's not Becky, she's not Bianca or any of these people.
Because you were talking about not giving Jay White all-star status, and now you're giving Liv Morgan all-star status?
She was one of the faces of the program for how long now? This is not about talent. It's not about talent. I don't care about talent. That's relevant to me. We're talking about stardom. That's it.
But she doesn't get much of a reaction unless Dom's standing next to her.
She's number 6 fucking merch, whatever the fuck. It is what it is. Liv,
Yeah, because most of her merch refers to Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley.
Dom has his own thing. It is what it is. You guys don't have to like it. It is what it is. I don't like it. It is what it is. Sorry.
All right. Fair enough.
Please don't do Charlotte and Tiffany. That's all I ask. Triple H watching. That's all I ask. No Charlotte and Tiffany. There's no need for this match outside the fact they're both blonde and can flip. Please, enough.
It's gonna be the Spider-Man meme where they just we go backstage to FTR, who are talking about the Fight for the Fallen show coming up on January 1st from their hometown of Asheville, North Carolina. He says that it's going to be a big night for AEW and how much it will help not just them, but especially the fans of North Carolina after everything they have been through. Harwood says that they want to put their names in the hat for being part of the main event of that show. And they said that they ran into a little bit of trouble on Collision as they had an encounter with the Death Riders, and they wanted to have a chat with them on Collision this week. After last week, they had to prevent a murder of Orange Cassidy, thanks to John Moxley and his crew. So now they will go face-to-face on Collision. Any thoughts here?
No. Fucking FTR as the fucking rah-rah guys. Good Lord. It's already over. Yeah, turn them heel. Let's move on with life. Good Lord.
I think the whole relationship with the Outrunners is leading to them heel sometime next year. But
You're saying that to me for a fucking month now. Maybe even 2 months.
It's been a month. But I will say you can use them as kind of like the rah-rah babyface against the Death Riders, especially if it leads to Adam Copeland coming back. I'm here for Adam Copeland.
Oh, right. I forgot Ed was on. Yeah.
We got over here Will Chisholm, who says Fight for the Fallen is going to make a good pre-show for Raw.
Oh shit, Jesus. I mean, that's fair. That's gonna be pay-per-view. They going nuts.
They are going nuts. And this will Fight for the Fallen will probably be a good show because coming off the heels of World's End, and historically AEW does a great job with their first shows of the year.
That could be true. I have no idea. I've seen.
You want me to run down the history? 2020. The first show of the year was when Toni first took over control of creative. The peak of Tony Khan as head of creative. That was when they redeemed the Elite. They had the whole thing with the Elite were in the main event against Death Triangle, and Cody faced Darby in the opener, and that was the first time that Hangman came out with the drink. Where they do the meme. The meme is still around to this day with Hangman at commentary, where it comes up and they did the lower third on Hangman for the first time. But that was kind of the rebuild of the Elite, and that was a great episode. 2021, I believe it was it was something else with the Elite, but I'm not remembering. I know 2022 was Hangman versus Bryan 2, the bloody one, the bloody second match.
Jumping Jacks.
Yes. Bloody jumping jacks. Then there was 2023, which was the Game 7 of the Elite versus Death Triangle. And then 2024, this year, that was when they were in Jacksonville, and Joe was the champion, and he bit the whole mission statement saying that he was bringing back the rankings and they had to earn their spot at the title, and they teased the Hook matchup and teased that Hangman and Swerve were going after the world title.
I heard one good show and all that. That was Hangman Dragon for an hour. I assume that was the hour match.
It wasn't the hour match. The first match was the hour match. This one was, I think, 40 minutes.
Oh, then that's not the Blade Jumper Jack. Blade Jumper Jack's the first match.
There's blood. There was blood in the second, and they did the jumping jacks. They did the jumping jacks again in the second.
Well, then they weren't bloody. That's the first match. It might have been a bloody match. The jumping jacks weren't bloody. That's what it counts.
I know Hangman was bloody in the first match. Brian was bloody in the second match. But we get from earlier today a sit-down interview. Tony Schiavone sitting down with Darby Allin. He speaks to him and he says his quest. Darby says his quest is never over as Death Riders are chipping away at everything that AEW has built. Darby thinks of what they did to Bryan Danielson, someone who could be considered the backbone of AEW. This is the first place many of the young guys have made a living on wrestling. So they don't do anything about it. But it's going to keep happening. People think Darby is reckless, and maybe I am. Proceeds to punch himself in the face and bleed from the goddamn mouth. He says the violence doesn't bother me as he basically touches his own blood. When Darby thinks of the Continental Classic, it's everything that's right with AEW. He needs to win this tournament. It's what AEW represents, and it's what he represents. Moxley thinks AEW needs saving when it's the company that gave his career a second shot and also allowed Sting to finish his career on his own terms. Nothing fools yourself better than the lies you tell yourself. I feel like I'm saying this every time they give him like this type of pre-tape interview. This is one of Darby Allin's best promos. Like this, the difference between Darby Allin and everyone else feuding with the Death Riders is that he makes you believe they are a threat to AEW. And when he speaks about AEW and his love for it, it comes off as genuine. It doesn't come off as forced. It doesn't come off as, I don't believe you. I believe every word he's saying. I believe the rampage and the fact that he's so obsessed with it to the point Tony Schiavone had to remind him, you're in the Continental Classic. You know that, right? Like basically, it was like he kept, but he is so obsessed with this Moxley and Death Rider thing. He always brought it back to that. That's what I thought was great about this, because this is not just a great promo. It's great character work as well, because it came across where Darby's mindset is at right now. Great stuff.
Darby is great. Believability is the key to all this. I buy everything he says, number one. And because of his circumstances, it makes it even more believable. I believe that he needs AEW, and he believes that it's not beyond saving, unlike Moxley. When I hear Orange Cassidy, these people, I just don't believe you. I'm sorry. It's kind of like the punk go home thing. I'm home thing. Like I don't. You might mean it, but I don't believe you. I believe Darby. I believe you, sir. Beautiful.
Big Man Dog says this was one of the better rah speeches. Yes, it was.
Great.
It was. Like anyone else saying this promo, it probably would have came off forced and like too much of a rah speech. This just sounded like a great Darby Allin promo.
Darby's great.
We got and this is a good shout, Big Man Dogs. He might be now. MJF, Ospreay. Even though he's not active, still got to count Kingston, Moxley, Darby.
I'm not mad at that list.
The only thing that made me do some pause and think about it, Christian Cage.
Oh, I think you say Willow. That's fine.
Willow too, yeah. Damn, that's like how is this company struggling sometimes with?
Hey, be careful.
I would put all 7 of the people we just named in probably in my top 15, top 20, top 10, top 10, top 15 in wrestling.
I know some of you out there saying we're jumping the shark, but listen, we're just keeping it honest. That's all we can do here. All we can do here. Sorry.
I forgot you read the comment.
I do. I saw you like that motherfucker's comment too. Phony ass niggas.
I like the own comment to another video when they said I was jumping the shark. So it's okay. I like getting comments just help us with the views, so they don't realize They think they be like, I'm really going to tell them, but you're helping us because you're putting a comment that's going to cause other views to come to the video. But anyway, I'm explaining too much YouTube to y'all. We got Christopher Kidd who said Christian Cage is right there. Yeah. Christian Cage is up there for me. Next up, we get our second Continental Classic Gold League matchup, Jimmy, as it's Ricochet going one-on-one with House of Black's Brody King. This is your classic size versus speed matchup, and we get a little bit of that early on. But my Lord, I love the layout of this matchup because the first 10 minutes of this shit is just Brody King beating the shit out of Ricochet. And Ricochet playing this off not like a scrappy kind of baby face versus the big man. He did from the opening bell, I thought that his mannerisms, how he was talking to the crowd, he was trash talking Brody. He played this off like he was the smaller chicken shit heel more than a scrappy baby face going against the big man. You get King no sells some chops from Ricochet. He then levels him with one of his own. He exposes the top of the barricade, but Ricochet flips off of it. He tries a Hurricane Rana off the apron, only to suffer a power bomb for his troubles onto the apron. Ricochet lets out a Marlon Wayans-esque scream as he falls onto the apron. Then he gets put into the chair by the barricade as King hits his big running cross body, and he sells it like he's Pops Williams saying, help me, please. Back from break, Ricochet tried a handspring elbow, but King caught him in midair and hits a wildly impressive release German suplex. Brody then flattens Ricochet with another chop, telling him to fight back. Ricochet did a wall rock into Guri, a low bridge, a springboard kick to the face, sending Brody to the outside. Fosbury flop connects. He lands on his feet, tosses King back inside, and hits a picture-perfect springboard 450 for a near fall. We get Ricochet wiggling out of a Gonzo bomb attempt. He gets a roll-up for a 2. Ricochet answers with multiple pump knees. He wants the Benadryller, but King is able to fight out. He gets a corner splash, a cannonball for a 2 count. They fight up the ropes, and it looks like Ricochet is trying to avoid a superplex. He eventually does and gets a sunset flip powerbomb, causing Brody to pull off the turnbuckle pad in the process. Ricochet hits a massive shooting star press, but my man Brody no-sells this shit and goozles Ricochet. He then applies a rear naked choke. Ricochet fought to the corner with the exposed turnbuckle. They fought to the top rope once again, but Ricochet realizes the exposed turnbuckle is there. He DDTs Brody onto the exposed turnbuckle. He then kicks his knee out, so he falls right on the exposed buckle a second time. He then hits him with one spirit gun. He then hits a second spirit gun as he is being showered with booze at this point, which really one of the early stories of the Continental Classic going into this matchup was kind of this slow burn babyface turn we've been seeing with Brody King, but it translated well in this match because as Brody is seemingly going to the babyface side, by everything he did in this matchup, it looks like Ricochet is turning heel himself as he scores the win with the second spirit gun to the back of the head. Ricochet is all smiles, very cocky, talking trash, and taunting the crowd in the post-match as he scores his second win of the Continental Classic to even up with Ospreay and Claudio at the top of the board with 6 points. But what do you think about this matchup? I thought it was a really, really fun matchup. Love the big man versus little man dynamic, especially when it's turned on their head with the little man playing more of the heel to the big man's babyface. I thought this worked well with everything they've done with Brody King in the opening matches of the Continental Classic so far. And I think that Ricochet played better here as being the heel against Brody. And I thought this was one of my favorite Ricochet AEW matches so far. What did you think?
I echo most of those thoughts. This is probably one of my favorite Ricochet matches in AEW. Look at this guy right away. Yeah, maybe. It might be my favorite. I don't know if I can quite go there just yet. Brody King is the man. Brody King should have won this match. The fact that Ricochet won makes me sick. I don't want to overexert myself, but what the fuck? Listen, Ricochet's fun as a heel that gets beat up. He makes these. I don't want to say they're trite. I don't want to be rude. Fuck it. I'll be more rude. They're trite. They're funny-ish, but he feels like he tries too hard. But that might be because fucking I saw the promo beforehand. So now anything he does at all will be awful to me. I'm sorry. Why are we not pushing Brody? Outside the fact that he's gigantic, and we don't push gigantic guys here. We got to push the small XWE guy. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. Whatever. Fuck it. No, the match was good. In a vacuum, it is what it is. So now we've got Ospreay, Claudio, and Ricochet with 6. And over there, we got Fletcher with 9. So Ospreay and Ricochet with 6, and then Fletcher over there with 9. It's interesting.
He's like that is a total of 7 wins for Ospreay's guys.
Good Lord. What the fuck? Better be Darby next week.
Big Man Doug says the issue is that I don't trust Toni to have a plan for Brody. Yeah, that's my issue right now, is that I think that this is a great story to have in the Continental Classic, him slowly coming over to the babyface side, Ricochet slowly coming over to the heel side, but I don't have the trust that he's going to follow up this with Brody.
Anybody who's that size, we've seen it. I think we can call it now. We can call it now. Wardlow, Hobbs, it's over. It's over. Wherever you think this push is going, it's not. It isn't.
We do have another super chat donation, this time from Genesis J. Thank you so much, Genesis J, for the support.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Genesis J says, heel Ricochet is making me a fan. It might be like a heel turn is sometimes what you need to kind of turn around a run, and I think that he needs that badly.
Wow, you guys not fan of this run? I thought I was alone in this.
No, I think he's had good to great matches since being here, but that's not the point of him being here. Him being here was to raise his stock as a star. So
fair enough. But at the end of the day, you kind of are what you are. I mean, no disrespect. Who's he jumping on this list? He's not going to any of those main eventers. He's not going. I mean, unless Ospreay has his way about it, and he's not going ahead. He's not ahead of Jay White or Hangman or Swerve or fucking. What are we doing? He hit his peak 10 years ago, and we keep waiting for him to fucking the new ceiling. Now it isn't. It isn't. I'm sorry. Anywhere he goes, there's 10 people better than he is. No disrespect. Sorry. AEW, that's the minor league. No, it isn't. Not for you. Nigga, there's still 10 people better than you here. Sorry. I'm sorry. You should have came 5 years ago. You didn't. You're here now.
I feel like him embracing more of a heel character is going to make his second match with Ospreay here better than the first one.
Oh yeah. Listen, this heel run will definitely be an improvement upon what he's done so far.
It also comes at a great time in the tournament for him because his last 2 matches are against Ospreay and Darby. There's no way he was going to be the more popular babyface against either one of those guys.
He's not the most popular babyface again. I'll be nice. Listen, it is what it is. I look forward to him joining the Hurt Business. I look forward to MVP talking for him. Yes, please. Yes, please.
He's like, yes to all of this. Yes to all of this immediately. But yes, in good point there. Yeah, Christopher Kidd says he's been face since forever. Change it up. Yeah, he's been in face like the entire time I've known of him, which I've known of him for like a decade now. He's always been a babyface. So it's about time. Backstage. No, before we do that, let's talk about the upcoming matches for the Continental Classic and who we got. Coming up on Saturday, Jimmy, we got Kyle Fletcher, who is 1 win away from clinching his spot in the playoffs of the AEW Continental Classic. And he faces Mark Briscoe, who is coming off of a huge win against TNT champion Daniel Garcia on last week's Collision. Who do you think wins? Fletcher versus Briscoe?
If Mark was 0 and whatever coming into this, I would say he has a shot. But he won his match already. It's over. Fletcher wins.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Like, I'm like, so Fletcher's not gonna go undefeated. I was like, it's either gonna be Briscoe or Garcia. I can see them giving Garcia another loss this week to set him up to have no momentum going into the Fletcher match, so he wins there.
Jesus fucking Christ. This is outrageous. How is this not a bigger deal? This is like Elon Musk fucking working with Trump. How is Ospreay fucking pushing this guy to the moon not a bigger deal? This is not how it was supposed to work. Oh, well, fuck it.
And then we also got on Saturday Kazuchika Okada going one-on-one with the Beast Mortos in the Blue League. Who you got here?
Okada. Come on. He already fucking he bent the knee. He bent the knee to Ospreay. Put Fletcher over. That's it. That's all you get from me.
You know what's hilarious is that Okada has been in AEW for less than a year, and he's already put over more young guys than he did in the whole year that he was in New Japan. I was like, yo, that pin over Kyle Fletcher must have pissed off Shota Umino and Yota Tsuji and Roye Uyoa, all of those guys in New Japan. God damn it.
It's fucking egregious.
I got Okada as well. And then next Wednesday, it's the big one. Holiday Bash, Washington, D.C., Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, should be. First time ever. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Darby. I'm going to take Darby. I don't know why I'm going to take Darby.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm thinking that at this point, Ospreay is going to suffer one loss in the block play. So it's either going to be to Darby or Ricochet to me. I don't think it's going to be Brody. I'm going to say Ricochet is going to be the one that beats him. I got Ospreay next week.
Wow. What the fuck?
I'll take Ospreay. I'll take Ospreay next week. Ospreay only jobs to people he's friends with. No, just kidding. Then backstage, you go to the AEW.
Oh shit! I forgot about a draw.
World Tag Team Champions, Private Party. I was like, God damn, this is like the first time in years you've been on this show. They welcome fans to the vault and were immediately interrupted by Action Andretti and Lio Rush. They offered them champagne when Andretti wanted a title shot instead. Zay said that what he wants is a big, juicy, and then Layla Gray appears, and Zay says, Santa works fast. Everyone started bickering. Zay and Quinn suggested that both teams fight it out on Collision to see who gets the next title shot at them. Both teams agree as Rush offered a handshake to Darius Martin and saying no hard feelings. And I mean, the jackets for Lio Rush and Action Andretti were the biggest takeaway from this segment.
What is this? Oh my God. Fucking nigga nerd summit. Like, what is this? Give me 6 of the least charismatic Negroes you can find. Holy shit. That's impressive. Yeah, Layla Gray is fine. What is this? What is this? We're all sitting behind here on this fucking Saturday Night Live sketch. Like, this shit is heinous. Oh my God.
We go backstage after a commercial break and we see TBS champion Mercedes Moné along with the number one contender Anna Jay ahead of their TBS championship matchup next week. Both agreed to no physicality. As Paquette said, today marks Moné's 200th day as TBS champion, and she has defended her title 10 times so far. Paquette plugged Moné's matchup for Strong Style Evolved against Hazuki on Sunday when Moné cut her off, praised what Jay has accomplished, going to Japan to train, saying it's cute. But what she's done at 26 only pales in comparison to what Moné has done. She says that she rattles off being a 5-time world champion, main eventing shows, all before she even reached the age of 26, and went to leave when Anna stopped her, saying that she's going to listen to what she has to say. Jade
Wow.
put over Monet for being one of the best in the world, but she's made a living off of being an underdog. As all she needs is 3 seconds, like that. She did exactly like that to shock the world. Jade walks off, and Monet says, "They'll see about that." I didn't know it was possible after weeks of dealing with this, but Mercedes Moné cut the better promo here. Next week, Mercedes Moné defends the TBS championship against Anna Jay. I just like Anna Jay. I think that she's gotten better in the ring. She just has not Unfortunately, that your in-ring skill doesn't translate on the mic always.
They didn't give her a whole lot to work with here. Mercedes goes off about how Anna Jay ate shit, and her response is, "You may be right." I only need 3 seconds. What the fuck? Why does nobody get how this works? That Mercedes speech only works if she's lying. And she's not lying. She's made Anna Jay look like a bum because I did everything before I was your age. I was the shit, and you're still shit. This is jarring. Whose idea was this? Jen Peppermint is stealing money, and it's not right. Something needs to be done.
They're going to call Jen Peppermint's hiring the heist of the century.
It's jarring. What the fuck? Mercedes needs something done. I don't know what. We can't turn face. We need something. She needs, I don't know, a goal in mind. This is flat as fuck. By the way, this is the third. At least the second time we've heard this promo. The Brit fucking Mercedes promo in the ring was similar to this about how fucking I'm the shit and you're not. At least Brit had a response. And Jay's got nothing. Poor lady. Good Lord.
Can't say nothing. And then finally, we had a highlight package of the history between Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa, which I thought they did a really good job on, where, they filled in a little of the blanks, explaining their relationship, friendship that started in Stardom, all the way through the turn at Full Gear and everything that's gone down since then. Mina Shirakawa comes out, and she got a really good response from the Kansas City crowd, even on her entrance. But it would become even more noticeable throughout the matchup. Mariah May getting the boos, but she comes off. She exudes like star power. Like as soon as she comes out, you're like, okay, who's she? Even if you were a new person watching this show. Both ladies waste no time. Immediately when the bell rings, they run at each other and they start slugging it out. They start Shirakawa slaps the hell out of May, who hid in the ropes. But from Shirakawa, who connected on a low drop kick and zoned in on the left leg of Mariah. Figure 4 was applied as May rolled to the floor, but Shirakawa kept it applied as they both crashed to the floor. May recovered and sent Shirakawa into the steel steps and barricade, as we see Thunder Rosa is sitting in the front row with a sign that says Mariah May is not her champion. Shotgun dropkick on Shirakawa into the barricade as May mocks her back in the ring. May went for a punt kick off the apron, but Shirakawa blocked it. She then slams Mariah's leg into the ring post, and she applies the Bret Hart ring post assisted figure 4. When things returned to the ring, May had gained control, giving Shirakawa a kiss of death, but the delay allowed a Shirakawa springboard kick. Both ladies ramped it up with a forearm battle as Shirakawa hit a roaring elbow. May answered with a headbutt, but before Shirakawa went down, she fired off a desperation back fist as they both went down. The crowd was loudly into things at this point, with getting behind Shirakawa with a "Let's Go Mina" chant. She drop kicks out the leg and then hits a backdrop suplex for a 2. Shirakawa went to the ropes, but May connected on a handspring head scissors. Shirakawa answered with a rolling neck breaker and then a draping DDT for a 2 count. Mariah pulled Shirakawa into the ropes. She hits 2 hard-looking pump knees right to the chin. She then followed up with the Mayday, and Shirakawa kicks out to a huge pop, probably the loudest pop of the show before the ending. Mariah wanted another Mayday, but Shirakawa turned it into a crucifix bomb for a 2 count. Up to the middle rope, Shirakawa hit the sling blade, and then she called for the glamorous driver. She hits it, but May somehow is able to kick out. Shirakawa couldn't believe it. May is able to use that little distraction or hesitation from Mina. She scores another headbutt and then snaps off the Storm Zero. 1, 2, 3. Mariah May retains the AEW Women's World Championship in arguably either her first or second best matchup that she's had since winning the title. The crowd was so into this. They had a very good matchup that got better as the time went on. The finish kind of came out of nowhere. I would have liked something else before the headbutt in Storm Zero, but really good matchup between these two ladies. Great chemistry on display throughout the matchup. We see at ringside in the front row, Thunder Rosa saying that you are not my champion. Thunder Rosa with her. She showed more charisma with her facial expressions that she did throughout her entire AEW Women's World Title reign in this one matchup. Every time they went over to her, she had a different facial expression that was just like, what? Toni Storm's own music hits. The crowd is on their feet once again, and out comes the former timeless one, the former 3-time AEW Women's World Champion to her original music, original gear. Mariah May can't believe it as Storm is almost fighting back tears as the crowd is on their feet going crazy for her. She's so thrilled to be back. We see Thunder Rosa once again in the front row with a what the fuck sign, looking shocked as Nigel McGuinness has a great final line saying that May is being haunted by the ghost of Christmas past. Great close to the show. Great line by Nigel McGuinness and a very damn good main event and closing angle to close things out. And finally, it feels like for the first time since All In, the women had a spotlight on them on an episode of Dynamite. About damn time.
Really good match. Would have been even better 2 months ago, but it's not here and there. It's right now. Mariah May is a star. No matter what Toni, not a Storm, fucking con, dummy, Toni dummy, tries to do, he cannot hurt her star power. She's a star. She's a star every time she shows up. I thought this was really well done. I thought Toni's return was, I don't want to say surprising. Once you made that women's title match the main event, after them getting nothing the last fucking ever long, you knew something was happening.
Once I realized that was the main event, I was like, oh, we're gonna get Toni tonight. I was like, no. Maybe they're putting it in the main event, so I believe it's gonna be Toni, but then he doesn't give me Toni.
Yeah, I thought the Rose I found interesting. What is that about? Triple threat?
Well, Thunder Rosa cut a promo on Collision on Saturday saying that she's the only woman in AEW who owns victories over both Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. So she called her shot for the winner of the matchup.
Ooh. And when's Rose in? December 28th?
Yeah, I think they do the Rosa match there, and then you set up Storm May 2 at Grand Slam.
Sure. This is no fun. I don't know what I want for Toni's character, though. I don't want it to be a complete change. We need to show some effects of the gimmick she just had for God knows how long. I don't know what that would look like, but it needs to be something.
I feel like she needs to basically be fighting like an identity crisis. Like sometimes in the matchup, she'll like go into the timeless pose and be like she's going in and out. Like she doesn't know who she really is.
Because that's what's bothered me the most about MJF's recent turn. That he was just fucking dressing like Triple H and fucking, he was talking about nonsense. Now all of a sudden he's right back. I needed something. Should have kept the jacket.
Facts. He was like, nah, y'all complained about it, so I'm going right back to what you love.
To be fair, it looks huge on you. Was that his actual jacket? You didn't get that properly tailored? Jesus.
Oh, now this would be the appropriate time for Tony Schiavone to use that line.
Yeah, that works. What a dynamite moment. Somebody's getting choked out, sir. Pay attention.
Fantastic World says, I love the Toni Storm return. We got a super chat donation once again from Genesis J. Thank you so much, Genesis J, for the support.
Listen up, you prick.
Genesis J says, Mina Sama. and the heart eyes emoji. Great match. Yeah, this was really kind of a sign that AEW might have like stumbled into something with Mina Shirakawa. Like I honestly, with the reaction that she got, I was like, could be a chance. I was like, there was a chance. There was like a 1% chance, and I feel like that's why the crowd in attendance they bit on the glamorous driver near home.
Okay, well then, what do you do with her after this?
I think you gotta keep her in the hunt, or you gotta either go. Maybe you go in the direction of Amina and Mercedes if you can. If you
Lord.
can do that, I don't know.
Here's what you do. Here's how we're gonna fix this. First thing we gotta do is get the belt off Mercedes. Fucking the biggest star in the company walking around with a secondary belt is a terrible idea.
Yes, true.
She should drop it to some bum. I'll let you guys decide who the bum is. And a triple threat, so she'll take the pin. Anna Jay, or fucking Penelope Ford, or
They need to book Mercedes like fucking TNA booked Samoa Joe's undefeated streak, where she loses, but she didn't technically lose, so she just keeps saying she's undefeated. Or no, book it like Christian Cage in TNA. You remember Christian Cage in TNA? That nigga was undefeated for his first 2 years because he kept losing in triple threats and bullshit.
oh, you know what? Queen Aminata pins Anna Jay in a triple threat. So now she's the fucking TBS champion. And then your main event scene should be Mercedes and Toni and Mariah and all these other people. Jamie Hayter, Willow, obviously. And all the bums fight for the secondary belt, which is what secondary belts are for. No disrespect. The star has it. LA Knight, all he gets is bums. I'm sorry, sir. We only have bums for you. That's how that works. Mariah May's fighting bums. She's the main champion. That's not how that works.
It's not how it's supposed to work at all.
Jesus.
We got another super chat donation here from Genesis J. Thank you so much, Genesis J, for the support.
Killer, but don't push me. That's Tupac.
I miss you, sir.
Genesis J says the "what the fuck" sign had me laughing. Welcome back, Tony. I said it when I was reviewing the match. Thunder Rosa had me laughing every time they put the camera on her. It's like, what are you doing?
This is great. You're fucking great. I hope she finally gets the respect she deserves in this bitch.
Absolutely.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but I want it to. I want it to happen. I want it to happen. Please. We got Chiller with Chase who says Christian Cage in TNA was unstoppable. Didn't even get pinned in the King of the Mountain. I love it. What happened?
Logan Paul's done?
He said he's retiring from wrestling on his podcast.
That feels like work to me.
Exactly. He said because he just had a kid. He said, I'm a dad now. I'm retiring.
Right. And why is that a win for wrestling fans? He's great at wrestling. How are you? He's an asshole? So what?
I guess people don't like him, his real life self, but that has nothing to do with his wrestling persona or his skill. But teach us how. Let us know in the live chat what you thought about AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming this week. Let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Jimmy, for the December 11, 2024 Winter is Coming edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. 2 weeks in a row. I think it's been very rare that we did this 2 weeks in a row. Thumbs up. But also, final call for super chat donations. But Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give this show?
7.5. Some good matches. I'm gonna say a main event. That's not really a main event. Sorry. But we did get a great close with Toni Storm returning. Overall, I'm gonna call it a successful night.
Yep, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. I'll go 8 out of 10. I thought this was a really good show. 1, 2, 3 very good to great matches, as well as some solid build towards World's End and the Toni Storm return. So all in all, very good episode of Dynamite this week, back to back, which has been rare ever since All In. So we got in the chat Genesis J, who says 8 out of 10 MVP Mina, LVP Jericho.
Nigga was there for a minute.
Jimmy, who is your MVP for the show?
I'm going Jay White. He stood out in that fucking open match so much. Meant to star. It is what it is.
Fair to say. I'm going to go co-MVP for the returning OG Toni Storm. And like you said, I think you made a great argument for it. Mariah May. The fact that she has survived the booking that she has been through ever since All In, was in the main event and got one of the biggest reactions of the show. And Mina Shirakawa, kind of an honorable mention, but I'm going to give it more to Mariah May for getting the win, being in the position, feeling like a top heel still, despite the horrible booking since All In. And then Toni Storm comes back. She's in a good place. So I give them the MVP of the show. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Will Ospreay. Co-MVPs. Anna Jane, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, his fucking hair. His about to lose his main event status. His putting Ricochet over Brody King. This is an LVP of the highest order. Sorry. Dummy Khan level performance by Will Ospreay.
I'm going to go with LVP, Anna Jay, and Action Andretti, and not Leo Rush. Leo Rush looked good in the jacket, and Action Andretti did not. So, yeah. Giving it to them. And match of the night, Jimmy.
Ooh. Well, it can't be Ricochet. No, I'm going with the main event. What? The not main event. You get the point. The last match of the card.
I'm going to go with Ospreay Claudio Continental Classic. I'll go with that as the match of the night. All right, Jimmy, we've made it to the close of this edition of AEWramble. Thank you as always. Thank you to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about this week's AEW Dynamite. But Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media. What you got going on your channel?
On YouTube, at Jimmy Macram. I'm going to see on Twitter too, but I'm avoiding Twitter these days until we get some news about what's going on with Hove and things like this. I can't be reading anything. That just make me sad. Yeah, on YouTube, at Jimmy Macram, TV shows and movies. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. He can't go on Twitter anymore, guys. Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month. Get you exclusive content. It's the best way to support us when we are not live here. We will be live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the channel with our NJPW Strong Style Evolved preview, breaking down the card for this coming Sunday, featuring Mercedes Moné versus Suzuki for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship in the final U.S. show for New Japan ahead of the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom. So we're going to talk all about that. We got the Flagship podcast on Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. We got a Saturday night's main event watch along and Saturday night's main event review on Sunday. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Appreciate y'all for joining us. So for Jimmy, it is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble 176, a timeless return. We are signing off until next time. Later, y'all.